Let's fight! Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you. Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, let's fight. Let's fight, guys. Happy Friday, the 4th day of March. Good to have each and every one of you here. When you guys are joining us on Twitter, you guys are joining us on Facebook, the Blue Meta app. You guys are joining us on YouTube or LinkedIn. Welcome in the ring. You know what you got to do as you come into the stadium, you come into the Coliseum, into the arena, folks. Let's fight. Gather around, gather around, gather. We've had a long week. Good to have you here. Pace and power, fired up and ready to go. Hope you guys have had a productive, well-spent week. Good to see each and every one of you here with us, guys. We would rather it no other way. We would rather it no other way. We hope you guys are seeing us clearly. You're hearing the audio just fine. Great to have each and every one of you here with us. We have all the usual suspects gathering around. Wilma Grant, we see you there, Wilma. Gotta ring the bell for Wilma. Good to see you, Wilton Blue and Lynette Joseph. Good to see you, Paula Greaves, Onessa Wardines, Anthony Higgins. Good to see you as well, Lily McGarrell and Carol Hudson. Rensford Morgan, all the Morgans here. Bella, good to see you. Lily McGarrell, it's Michelle Solomon. Charlene Juice Attendre, good to see you too. Nikki Ennis, good to have you guys here with us. Pace and power. Guys, share the live stream as you come on. Smash that emoji button for us. Let's not waste any time. Poor people governor, good night to you. Let me ring the bell for my brother. Ring the bell for poor people governor. Good to see you here, my brother. Ringside. Got you in the ring one of these evenings again. Got you in the ring one of these evenings again. Pops Archer, good to see you. Pops Archer. Allison, and Jamal Clear. I see also Henrietta Lancaster, Yana Benjamin. Good to have Arthur McCalmont and Kurt Daniels. Guys, really glad to have each and every one of you here. Pace and power. We are fired up and ready to go. Just waiting on you guys. We are just waiting on you folks. Pace and power. Ready to head into the weekend in fine style. 5th gear, guys, head into the weekend on all 6 cylinders, all 8, all 9, all 10 cylinders. Good to have you guys here with us. How has the day been? How has the week been? Hoping you guys look back, you can see some progress. And not just movement, you guys can see some progress. You got some things accomplished, and you're well on your way to accomplishing some anything. Let's fight first. Dansford, where are you, Dansford? Good to see you, Nicole Jones and Kurt Heineken. Paul Bourne is here as well. Bob Annie, Roxanne Odessa Jacobs, Horace Thomas, Sean Fegg. Good to see you, Sean. Paulette Short, let's fight. Good to see you, Claudette Henry. Good to have all you beautiful, fantastic people here in the ring with us, guys. Would have it no other way. Marsha Glasgow, pace and power. And Kearns, good to see you, and folks, good to see each and every one of you. Auntie Marina London, happy birthday to you. How are you doing? May the good Lord bless you, Marina London, and may you live to see many more years. May this be the beginning of a definitive year in your life as the Almighty give you the guidance to do all the right things and to accomplish all your hopes and your dreams. Auntie Marina London, respect and manners. Big shout out to you. Happy birthday. And all the rest of you celebrating your birthday. Be saying respect and manners to you. We wish you guys the best. Hope you had a fantastic day. If you just celebrated a birthday, or today's a big day, or perhaps over the weekend, happy birthday to each and every one. If you all let us know it's your birthday, we can be certain to give you guys a shout out. You guys are our people. We must give you all a shout out. We there. Then here's Auntie Marina birthday. Good to see you, Auntie Marina. Auntie Marina, London. Good to see you. Happy birthday. So that being said, good to have you guys here with us. Jorrit David, Carlotta Reynolds, Kurt Heineken, Henrietta Lancaster, Molly Ann Mullen, Dexter Gregory, Good to see you, folks. Folks, we don't know about you, but we're fired up here, ready to go. Sangster. Is it Sangster Seymour? Yes, Sangster Seymour. As you guys come into the stadium, the Coliseum, the arena, share the live stream. We are fired up, guys, and we are ready to go. Carl Miller says, I am celebrating TJ. Yes, it's two of us, Carl. Carl, it's two of us. Good to see you. Erwin Don Cook, good to see you as well, guys. We will have this evening no other way than with you fantastic people, with you fantastic folk. Gavin Beresford, we see you. We're just waiting a couple of you. We are ready to go. Got the fight card, pace and power, ready to head off into the weekend. The podcast comes up on the weekend only, folks, as we take a rest from FYI and in the ring. But you can join the podcast tomorrow and on Saturday. We had some technical difficulties as we started our podcast from the protest there by the Russian embassy in downtown Georgetown. Folks, but we posted some of the photographs and we apologize for that. Pace and power, we're fired up here, ready to go. Where are you folks? We are live in. Folks, after 9 o'clock, you're free to go and hang and unwind from the week. But you guys have to be around the ringside, folks, to get the latest. How else are we going to know what's happening? How else are we going to know what's happening, guys? Good to have each and every one of you here, and we will have it no other way. Paul Williams, we see you there. Spurry Lee and Myrtle Stevens. Good to have you. Penelope, and is it Dulcina Sutton? Good to see you. Latonya Clark as well. Suboni Semple, Nadele Semple, Volme Williams, Timor Williams, Kim Walker, Richard Ford. It's good to have each and every one of you here. Wilma Grant, Don Barnes, Candy Naleen, Inderjit, is it you? Really good to see you guys. Really good to see you. Love that you guys are here. Pace and power, and I hope that you guys believe in pace and power as well. You know, we've been encouraging you guys as we get into the fight, as we prepare to get into the fight card. Folks, we have been encouraging you to come on board and to partner with us, because we cannot do these programs without you. Guys, we're doing 17 programs per week, you know. Can you believe that? Can you believe it? Let me make myself look comfortable. Can you believe that we're doing 17 programs a week? 3 programs per day by 5 days per week. 3 5s are 15, and then the 2 podcasts on the weekends. 17 programs per week. That is 17 hours of non-stop talk just for you guys. 17 programs per week, and very soon might be 17 hours per day. Hope you all see where we're going. Just now might be 17 hours per day. From strength to strength we're going, folks. Just because of you, we want to keep you guys informed. For now, 17 programs a week. Guys, come on board and partner with us. Those of you who have done so, you have our tremendous appreciation and thanks. Those of you who have done so in the past, come back on board and do so again, so that we can keep our programs going, guys. Those of you who have not done so as well, as yet, we encourage you to do so. We hope by now you realize that we've been good stewards of your finances, taking things from step by step. First gear to second gear, round 1, round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we got to keep going. We got to keep going, folks. Thank you so much for your support. We got Cash App available. We got PayPal. We got Zelle. We got MMG. We got MoneyGram. Western Union. Folks, you want to know how you can contribute to our programs financially? You can WhatsApp 627-6963, 627-6963, 627-6963. Jaleesa Robin, happy birthday to you as well, Jaleesa. Big happy birthday to you, Jaleesa Robin. Happy birthday, and may you go on to see many more. Happy birthday. Hope you spend it well, and hope you have a fantastic weekend befitting a birthday like someone like you. Happy birthday, Jaleesa Robin. Happy birthday. That being said, folks, let's move on to the fight card. Pace and power. Pace and power. Welcome in the ring to each and every one of you, wherever you guys are joining us from around the world. Welcome. Those of you who join us on Twitter, those of you who join us on YouTube, those of you who join us on LinkedIn, those of you who join us on Facebook, ensure you're following those pages you join us from. Ensure you're following us on Twitter, following us on LinkedIn, subscribing to our channel on YouTube. If you're one of our YouTube viewers, ensure you're subscribing to that channel on YouTube, and ensure, guys, that you're following our pages so that you get the notification as soon as we drop something on the page, so you guys get it first. Pace and power. Good to have each and every one of you here, guys. Let's head to the fight card, folks. And we're starting with the week as it was. The week as it was, for those of you who might have missed it there. So we want to keep you guys in the loop. So here, guys, is the week as it was. This is the week as it was. Monday, folks, was the 28th. 28 days of September, April, June. folks, 28 days in September, y'all better follow me clearly. Y'all better follow. See, we testing some of y'all, you know. We testing some of y'all. We tested 30 days of September. Oh, some of y'all following now. Some of y'all following now. We went to school in August, Gemma Isaacs and Lena Jacobs. But in February, there were 28 days, and Monday was the 28th. Monday, folks, we saw Russian artillery pound cities in the Ukraine. There were ceasefire talks initially, but those ceasefire talks led nowhere. They led nowhere, folks. They led nowhere. And so the status quo continues. It is war and rumors of war there in the Ukraine. That's what happened on Monday the 28th. The health minister locally, Frank Anthony, never know. You always suppose and suspecting. Never know definitively. He says that some of the Mashimani events were not granted permission by the task force. What a shame. And what is being done? What has been done since then? What a shame. That was Monday as it was, folks. By Tuesday, we saw the Russian, quote-unquote, intervention in the Ukraine was a result of the failure to resolve the question of Russian security concerns. This was according, folks, believe it or not, this quotation was according to Donald Ramotar. The man says that a war is an intervention. You understand why he ended up how he ended up? Full stop. Then we saw Onish Waldrum, who was in Nairobi, Kenya. Onish was talking about the environment and how they've been good stewards, but she didn't talk about the mangroves, right? She didn't talk about all the EIAs they are foregoing, they are waiving. No. She didn't talk about all, but she talked about they've been good stewards. Moving on. So much for Onish. That was Tuesday. By Wednesday, folks, we saw Biden with a strong State of the Union address. On Tuesday night, Biden ended his speech with the refrain, "Go get him! Go get him!" Folks, Biden is very serious. There have been tremendous sanctions been brought against Russia, and also several crippling effects. In addition to that, the U.S. and other partners have been supplying Ukraine with arms and ammunition. And that was just, folks, that was just Wednesday. In addition to that, we saw the installed team installation, doing their machinations, right, in the Committee of Selection of the National Assembly and choosing Dunstan Barrow, Holy Paul from Arley Samrock to be their representative, the National Assembly's representative on the NRF board, the National Resource Fund board. Folks, was a set piece. So that was happening on Wednesday. Also on Wednesday, GCOM announced their house, not the house registration, they announced their continuous registration cycle to begin in the new week, folks, That 30 days of September, it's sticking my head and messing me up here. They claim that they're going to start this exercise come this new week. We're going to watch and wait to see how it turns out there. And then we saw Mr. McCray, the bad man bus driver, assaulting a police verbally because he's bigger than the police commissioner. We're still waiting to hear that charges were laid. Whatever, I'm certain the man broke a couple laws there. But we're still watching that, people. We are still watching that. Who's sharing the live stream? And who's smashing the emoji button? Who's doing that for us, folks? Is it you, Vladimir Wilson? Is it you, Bernadette Lewis? Is it you, folks, as we come into the arena, as we come into the Coliseum? Share the live stream. That is our encouragement to you guys. Come on board and partner with us. Smash that emoji button. We want to hear from you in that way. We want to see how you guys are feeling out there on social media. And folks, by Thursday, look what we had. Putin is an alien. That's what President Zelensky of the Ukraine said of him. Putin is alien. He doesn't understand the histrionics of what is occurring. He's a bully. He's an alien. That was quite fascinating. And then we saw locally, teachers got permission to wear their hair however they would like on International Women's Day. Yes, because this is South Korea. This is North Korea. I give South Korea a bad name. This is North Korea, apparently. This is North Korea, and this is the people who said 28 days of September. Oh, folks, teachers can wear their hair anyhow they want it on International Women's Day. This is what we heard Prem Alexander say. And folks, also on Thursday, we saw that the PPPC, they kept the David Granger 5Bs initiative, even though they throw away the school buses. They are like the buses because they're painted yellow and green, folks. The dash the bus, but the buses rather across the country. That's how the wicked stink and dirty. But they keep the initiative. They keep the initiative, folks. They have kept the initiative. That's how they stay. That is how they stay. And by Friday, folks, by Friday. By Friday, it's nice time at Queen's College. Nice time at Queen's College. But sad times at Golden Grove Secondary School. I'm going to tell you guys why. Nice time at Queen's College and sad times at Golden Grove Secondary School. A woman called me yesterday. She said, I hate this bell with a passion, but I love this show. She said, I hate the bell with a passion, but I love the show. Who vex? Oh, vex. She said, I hate the bell, but I love the show. Guys, we couldn't ask for a better audience in this program than each and every one of you. Share the live stream, smash that emoji button. Nicola, Carlotta, Yvonne, Bernadette Duncan, Deanne Johnson, Leslie Alves, Linda Thomas, Carlotta Ronalds is here, still with us. Wonderful. Yvonne Daly, Roxanne Odessa, Jacobs, Gladstone Matthews, good to have each and every one of you folks. Moving on the fight card, that was the week as it was. That was the week before us. Around the world, folks, we're coming in. The U.S. ambassador to the UN, she ain't playing with them. She is not playing with them, and she told us quite recently on the Ukraine issue with the war. Let's call it for what it is. The Russian war against the Ukraine. She says they were very reckless, the Russians that is, in their strike against that nuclear power plant in the Ukraine. Yep, that's what the U.S. ambassador said to the folks there. That is what the lady said to them. She said that their actions were reckless. And we tend to agree with her. Folks, we tend to agree with her that the actions were indeed reckless. And her name is just me, but I want to capture it. Linda Thomas Greenfield, the U.S. ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield, she said, Putin them reckless. Russia is reckless. And we tend to agree. This is what she said, folks, before the UN quite recently. Quite recently. Let me take it.
By the grace of God, the world narrowly averted a nuclear catastrophe last night. We all waited to exhale as we watched the horrific situation unfold in real time. I applaud the ability of the Ukrainian operators to keep all 6 reactors in safe conditions while under attack and to report as they were able to their nuclear regulator. Russia's attack last night put Europe's largest nuclear power at grave risk. It was incredibly reckless and dangerous, and it threatened the safety of civilians across Russia, Ukraine, and Europe. As a first step, we call on Russia to withdraw its troops from the plant to permit medical treatment for injured personnel, to ensure operators have full access to the site and are able to communicate with nuclear regulators, and to allow the operators to conduct shift changes to ensure the continued safe operation of the plant. President Putin must stop this humanitarian catastrophe by ending this war and ceasing these unconscionable attacks against the people of Ukraine. Mr. Putin must stop this madness, and he must stop it now.
I love what Ambassador Greenfield said there. Putin must stop this madness. And you know, some experts have been debating about Putin's mental state. A lot of experts have been debating that, and when you see some actions like the strike against this nuclear power plant, a nuclear power plant there in Ukraine, we think them boys onto something. We think them boys onto something. We think them boys onto something. When we see how they struck that power plant with missiles and so forth, be watching that, folks, and we can continue to bring the details to you on that front. On that front. Signs of the times, folks. Signs of the times. The good book says in the last days is war and rumors of war. I better say our prayers. Signs of the times, guys. Signs of the times. Moving on, folks. Moving on. Moving on. Jamel, 4 years old. That's all his name was given in the report that we got. 4 years old. Lost his life today in a fire in the Tocqueville squatting area. Yep, we've been told that 2 other siblings along with Jamel was in the house at the time when this fire started. The 2 older siblings were able to escape the blaze, but Jamel wasn't so fortunate, folks. Our thoughts and prayers, of course, go to the Tocqueville squatting area family and community there, and the family that lost this young man, 4 years old, folks, and gone from us. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. And again, we don't have all of the details, how the fire got started, where were the parents at the time of the fire, questions I'm certain that you might have. We have asked also. All we know at this time is that there were 2 other siblings in the home at the time the blaze started. They escaped, and young Jamel, just 4 years old, a baby, wasn't so lucky. Our thoughts and prayers go out to the entire family, folks. Signs of the times. Signs of the times. We told you all we got to fight for our kids, you know. We got to be responsible parents. We got to be responsible adults, responsible aunties and uncles. We got to fight for these young ones. It's so sad to see what transpired here. We always say this on this program. Fathers got to be fathers and mothers got to be mothers. Come on, folks. And the village and the community sometimes got to step in. You know, the African proverb says it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village indeed. It takes a whole tongue and country on me. Again, our thoughts and prayers go out to young Jamel's family, folks that have suffered this tremendous loss and the loss to the community and our country as a whole, folks. Remember them in your prayers tonight. If you folks pray to the Almighty before you go to bed. Young Jamel, yep. Jagabats and trench crap on news. This is their section. It belonged to them. Right? You got some of them in the comments right now fighting up strong. I know when Erica look up and look down in the comments, she can see some of them. Leslie Niles, when she look down and up in the comments. Tubu Braffett and Delhi's London Welshman, Bernadette Duncan, family, Bobani, and little Joseph, Diane Fordyce. Up and down in the comments, you can see some jacobats and trench crappers. This segment is specifically for them. They got the whole new segment. When you're big, you're big. When you're big, you're large. National Love Cameron, Sheena Hazel, Otto Douglas, and Terry Ann Grenville. Good to have all of you guys, wherever in the world you guys tune into our program from. And if you guys are new to In the Ring, bear with us. We get a little crazy around here. Sometimes we even ring a bell like tonight. Sometimes out of nowhere, we just throw things. Hope you guys are well wherever you are. You're in the right place. The Jagabats and the Trench Crapper News. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Well, everyone upset with the critics these days. Upset with the critics is quite strange because they sit down with a lot of critics. They sit down with a lot of critics and kind of ask them a lot of questions. A lot of critics. But he vexed with the others. The critics and the naysayers. From the time he gave his Republican anniversary speech, dedicated to the critics and the naysayers, the people that don't like them and the policies that think they're going nowhere and they're doing bad by this country. Oh, they're out for them. Ever since that day, folks, every speech everyone has is the critics, is the critics, is the critics. Well, as you guys know, everyone is in Belize. The meeting should be wrapping up now. The heads of government meeting that is taking place in Belize, folks. Belize. Before the man is concentrated on what's happening there in Belize. Folks, who's sharing the live stream for us? Who is smashing the emoji button for us tonight? Thousands of you are watching us. Give the program a share. Give the program a like. Give the program some love. Give the program some care. Give the program some hate if you need to, guys. Do what you need to do. But share the live stream as well for us. Everyone's supposed to be focused on what's happening there in Belize. But last night, the critics in the head, and he paying them rent monthly. He paying them rent. They're in his head. He's supposed to be in Belize there, concentrating on the things that concerns him there. But he mind on home, and he flipping through the papers, going through the online news, and run into some letter somebody wrote. He called Big Uncle Gordon Mosley to have a conversation. And of course, the conversation turned to the critics. And who is authorized to speak up and speak out? This is the democracy or in North Korea? Take a listen to the conversation. Take a listen. Take a listen, people. Take a listen. We know you're fast. Let me pull it from my end. Let me pull it up.
Mr. President, I understand you wanted to respond to some concerns about the pace at which your government was moving, as referenced in a letter in today's newspapers.
Yes, Gordon. So I just want to make a few points. First of all, my government and the PP civic government believes strongly that civil society has an important role to play in any democratic society. But civil society, a role cannot be convenient, or the truth cannot be convenient. And we cannot confuse civil society with individual organizations. That is, organizations that are run by individuals or are not open to the wider membership of our country. These organizations cannot be the conscience of truth or the conscience of society when they're convenient in the way they address issues. Many of the organizations had nothing to say after the no confidence motion. They had nothing to say during the 5 months of impasse where our country integrity and credibility was damaged because of what took place. Today, we were elected based on an agenda. We were elected based on a manifesto. And we have a responsibility to implement that manifesto as effectively and comprehensively as we can. And that is the intentions of the government.
I don't know how to say this. Even talking foolishness. He talking foolishness. He talking foolishness. This is as though you're saying that, if I saw a car make some wrong turn at some time in my life and I didn't speak out against that publicly, I can't comment on any cars making any wrong turns ever again in my life. Right? There are people who went through 23 years of the PP administration and never said a word about any of the atrocities, if you want to believe anything Irfan is saying there, that transpired under the PPC administration. We were declared a narco state, a police state, a pariah state, you name it, a failed state. There were lots of people who kept their heads down and kept supporting the administration right until their end. And that end we saw in 2015 is going to come again shortly. Lots of people benefited from the administration and said nothing concerning their excesses of the administration, you name it. Vashti Jagdeo, First Lady, suffered one of the worst embarrassment that any woman could face publicly. Lots of people utter not a word. It means that if a woman is abused now, emotionally, physically, mentally, you could never speak up because you didn't speak up then. What foolishness is this, Irfan? What nonsense is this? So if you believe that there was some quote-unquote rigging, some assumed rigging in 2020, and you said nothing, you have lost your voice. All of a sudden, so if you see the PP going down a wrong road, you can't talk. That's a democracy? Or that's North Korea we're talking about? So this has been the trajectory of Irfan for the last few weeks. It's about the critics. We love democracy, but the critics we got problem with. Right? It's the critics we got a problem with. We love democracy that is only an X on a ballot, and once that day pass, we in charge and you can't tell me nothing because, you know, we got a landslide victory like mayor in Barbados. We cleaned up all the seats. You don't think it's a one-seat majority government that we're dealing with? And we're going to hear more about this with Aerofront. That's the same thing he said when the frontline workers were striking. That is the same line he took. Where was the solidarity with the sugar workers? So the sugar workers, they were right-sizing the sugar industry, much like they're doing now. And the frontline workers never said anything, so they can't come and ask for pay increase now, like sugar workers. Because why? They said nothing when the sugar when sugar factories were being closed. But the same people who promised to reopen the sugar factories have not done so. How is Wales going? They're gone to oil and gas. How is More doing? They're gone to oil and gas. How is Skelter doing? The flagship. Well, they're producing so much sugar there anymore and they don't plan to. Right? So you all have lied to people, and now when you're being criticized, is it naysayers and so forth? That's how we're going. So if one got something against the critics, you're coming against us hard. You're coming against us. So when you say queer on social media, the emotionally distressed. Emotionally distressed. So when you say queer. But we can keep on talking. Boots on the ground, we ain't backing down. Moving on to fight card, folks. Moving on to fight card. Moving on. Well, yep. We tell you, Jacobats and Trenchcap on news, but Mark Benchcap coming for them. Mark Benchcap has written to Suku. Right? Karen Bash, the head of Suku, and he's saying these allegations that were made against Barra Jagnew by the Vice News correspondent, they have substance to them and should be investigated. They have veracity to them and should be investigated. Kudos to Mark. Somebody needed to do it, and Mark stepped forward, and he's calling them out. If one little allegation could send them into such tailspin, who is Sue? One little allegation according to them, there's no truth to it. Mr. Jagnew is innocent. He's a pillar of virtue. Right? He's a pillar of virtue. Incorruptible. But if this is a sign that he's innocent with a tailspin and the PR overdrive that they've gone in, and the young lady, Isabel Young, from the Vice Media Group that publishes Vice News, hasn't even published her final report. It's just an interview, you know. Just an interview. And all of this hoopla. Imagine when we hear the finished product. Right? But Mark has taken a commendable step in writing to Soku's head, Faisal Karimbash, I think is the fellow's name, and saying that these allegations that were made concerning corruption, they seem to have merit, they seem to have substance, they seem to have veracity, and they should be investigated. Kudos to Mark. Some of you need to come beyond Facebook activism and boots on the ground, pens on the page, and let's move things forward. Those of you that ask for, you might be able to write to Congressman, write to the White House, write to Biden, write to Harris, and let's see some action. Write to your congressman, folks. Those who are in charge, the representatives for the diaspora, this part of the world, they're in Congress. Write to them. Let them know what's happening. Or write to the authorities here as well. In your numbers, folks. That's how you feel? If you don't want critics, well, you can resign. Moving on, folks. Kudos to Mark Benchcap, nonetheless. Kudos to Mark for this brave step. Folks who are sharing the live stream for us, who is going to smash that emoji button for us on this Friday? Good to see so many of you. Cassandra Keller and Carolina Reynolds, Glensis Mingo Bourne, Bernadette Duncan, Glensis again, Paul Williams and Colin Solomon, Jacobs Creek. Good to see you as well. Moving on to the fight card, folks. The wicked, the stink, and the dirty. Y'all know it's true. Y'all know it is true when you see their actions. You know it's true. Words fail you, and all you could come up with is wicked, stink, and dirty. When you see the racism when they see the classism, when they see the high-handedness in which you're operating, that's all you can say. Wicked, stink, and dirty. Right? And as I said, some of us, we will have to fight back. We will have to take the risk. We will have to take the chances and do what must be done. Because these folks that lead us, they believe there's the only one like a Caribou coach step, you know. They're wicked, stink, and dirty. The first thing they want to do is tie out in the court system. But we got this stamina. I want you all to know that. We got this stamina. Look what's happening here. Well, Michelle Miller is one of the persons from GCOM who would have back and forth at the courts. Even arrested Michelle at one point. Arrested her, an employee at court, at GCOM rather. An employee at GCOM, a professional, going about her life, right? But they look at you a certain way, you look a certain way, and assumptions are made. Assumptions are made. And so Michelle Miller now is suing the Guyana Police Force for $175 million for unlawful arrest. When you're coming around people, don't come around them funny. Don't come around them funny. Folks, you know what is laughable about these guys? The PPC, you know what's laughable? They claim elections were rigged. The March 2020 rather, March 2nd, 2020 elections, they were rigged. That's 2 years ago. Those elections were held. 2 years. And 2 years later, we can't find a shred of evidence. We can't find a shred of evidence against the people who they claim rigged these elections. And Michelle Miller is one of those persons. They have brought lots of accusations against. Well, Michelle Miller is now saying, you're arresting me unlawfully. I'm demanding $175 million from the Guyana Police Force. 2 years later, nobody has been convicted as yet. And from Sanjeev Gatadin to the other jagabats and trench crappers who preach every day about these rigged elections that supposedly happened in broad daylight, according to them. In broad daylight. And 2 years after in the courts, they cannot produce a shred of evidence. A shred of evidence to support that. But people are taking it easy now, you know. Don't think you can tarnish people's name and their reputation and don't get y'all marching up some court step. So, Miss Miller is giving them a taste of their own medicine. 2 years later, the other side of that is the opposition, the parliamentary opposition, the country's opposition has said it is the PPP who are the real sanctimonious gangsters and who attempted to rig the March 2nd, 2020 general and regional elections. And the most glaring example of all that, you have it throughout the country, the examples. The most glaring is what took place, folks, on the East Coast. All of those ballot boxes, 47 of them, that ain't got no statutory documents. You don't know how the votes meet in the box. You got these boxes with votes. And Claudette Singh counted that and said, yes, right, those were valid votes. We know how they meet in there, who put them in there. A meeting was called with members of GCOM who worked in those polling stations. Lots of them didn't turn up. The other quite striking feature that we saw is that these were only in villages that traditionally favors the PPP on the East Coast. Mind you, the PPP claiming rigging. That is what one of the charges. We're claiming rigging too, to be quite frank. We're saying that they are the real sanctimonious gangsters. But in every community that favors the APNU AFC coalition, all the documents are in the ballot boxes intact. The strangest phenomenon ever. In every community on the East Coast that favors the APNU AFC coalition, all of the documents, the statutory documents, were in the boxes. It's only these boxes in the traditional PPP communities. You can't find no statutory documents. The other interesting feature of what transpired on March 2nd, 2020 is the 2 elections petition that came out of that are leveling charges of rigging against the PPP, laying it at their feet. And the PPP fighting those 2 petitions down in the court, not on any of the substance, not on any of the charges, the slightest technicalities. It wasn't served at the right time. It wasn't served to the right person. The person misspelled the name. It's supposed to be on legal size page, but it's on letter size page. It's supposed to be printed on one side of the page only, but it's printed on the 2 sides. The most frivolous of technicalities. They're looking to knock the petitions out of the court. But these people want to let us know that they were elected, fairly elected, duly elected, and they're a legal government. But Carol Miller, he ain't having it. Carol Miller is not having it. Several other persons, ladies and gentlemen, several other persons were detained from GCOM as well. Several other persons in this witch hunting at GCOM. Several persons. Keith Lowenfield got charges against him in the courts. You know, they managed to dismiss him eventually. Roxanne Myers is another such person. Keith Lowenfield, of course, was the chief elections officer. Roxanne Myers was his deputy. Clement Mingo, the returning officer for Region 4. He has also been accused of rigging. 2 years later, we don't see a shred of evidence, no convictions. All we got is just a hot air, loudmouth people. Enrique Levan was another GCOM staff. Michelle Miller was another GCOM staff. Carolyn Duncan was another GCOM staff. Dwight Hetzberger was another GCOM staff. All of them have been dragged before the courts. All of them have been dragged before the courts, accused of election fraud. Right? And they got a fella at GCOM who said, I call it trench crapo. And a jagabat, well, it hops like a crapo. Right? It sounds like a crapo. It looks like a crapo. But you could draw your own assumptions. That fella gave a police report. Listen to me well. He gave a police report that said there was a bomb scare. Right? There was a bomb scare at the Hatfield Street GCOM location. A bomb scare. He picked up the servers, the computer servers, with the SOPs on them. And he left GCOM Hatfield Street location for an undisclosed amount of time. You know what is a computer server? With all the GCOM information and the SOPs? He left for an undisclosed amount of time. He went up the road and he said he guarded them in his car. He guarded them in his car. You ever heard anything like that? Nobody authorized him. He sought no authorization. He picked up the servers and left the building because there was a bomb scare. He was protecting the servers. And then a couple hours later, he come back. And he's still working at GCOM. He's still working at GCOM. Right? Keith Lowenfield never left with a paperclip. Roxanne Myers never left with even a, what do you call it, a letter-sized page. The man fetched out the whole server from GCOM. This is a police statement that he wrote and signed to. He said, I went up the road and I was in my car. And when I felt it was safe, I came back. With the servers, with the SOPs on it. And people want us to believe that they won the election legitimately. Yep. They would have us to believe they won the elections legitimately. And while that is happening, other folks have been prosecuted as well. Other people have been prosecuted as well. Folks who are helping us to share the live stream this evening. Who is helping us to smash the emoji button? You know, Big Auntie Evalda Lawrence has been prosecuted for same thing, fiddling with elections. 2 years later, not a shred of evidence has been heard or seen. My Auntie Carol Joseph She has been prosecuted in the courts as well. She was our last election agent. She's now our chief scrutineer, I believe. Right? She has been prosecuted. Gavin Matthews under political prosecution. Christopher Jones under political prosecution. Christopher Jones, yes, our brother Christopher Jones. Winston Jordan under political prosecution. And the people who were actually being prosecuted for fraud and had credible evidence in the court. As a matter of fact, they had applied to the High Court to have the matter quashed, and the Chief Justice herself said there was sufficient information for them to stand trial. But soon as them boys come back, we saw the Director of Public Prosecution, Shalimar Ali, drop all of those charges. No reasons given. No reasons given whatsoever. Irfan Catfish had 19 fraud charges against him. Anil Nandilal had fraud charges against him for the law books, among other things. Ashley Singh had fraud charges against him for undervaluing land, among other things. Winston Brassington had fraud charges against all them other fraud charges dropped. All of them. And you all know Claudette Singh. She had private criminal charges brought against her as well by a citizen. She had her charges dropped. Right? I guess it's now it's who know you. It's who know you, folks. That's the people for you. They come back. They come back. Right? Respect and manners to Michelle Miller. You gotta do what you gotta do. Mess with the wrong people. Moving on the fight card, folks. Thing there. Moving on the fight card. Nice time. Folks, nice time, we tell y'all. At Queen's College, it's nice time. You know, after this program, I can see a lot of teachers now from them other schools writing to get employment by Queen's College. I say, move me over. Move me over. We could say, I know they got GTU elections coming up. Lots of people contending. Right? Them people going to be moving to GTU and say, you got to protest. I want to go over. You're my union. Represent me. I want to go Queen's College. Nice time by Queen's College. Folks, we made to understand that because Queen's College performed so well at CSEC and CAPE and those big examinations, the students really performed well. They topped not only the country, but they topped the Caribbean. And the ministry, as part of showing their gratitude to the teachers there, give every teacher, I think let me make sure that I categorize it as closely to correct as I can. They give the senior teachers there, I think, $50,000 each. Nice time. Nice time at Queen's College. $50,000 each. And another category of teachers at Queen's College, we made to understand, got $25,000 each. I can imagine. I can see some teachers now dragging out the notebook and say, it's a long time I write application. It's a long time. Nice time at Queen's College, folks. Nice time. We want to say congrats to all the children who did well. And if they're successful children, that means they have been successful teachers as well. And we want to say respect and manners to all the teachers there at Queen's College. We begrudge you all the money. We begrudge you. I just want the people who might be owed by a teacher from Queen's College to know. They get money today. They get some of them get 50,000, some get 25,000. That's all we're saying. We ain't begrudge y'all. Respect and manners, folks. Just teasing. Respect and manners, and you all deserve it. If teachers go above and beyond, you deserve to be rewarded. Thus, nice time. Nice. I can see some teachers scrolling through the course catalog. Says, that's a long time watching this little set here. Guys, continue to lift your standard and to do us proud. $50,000 and $25,000 each. I can imagine prayer in the auditorium today at Queen's College. Say, you get 50,000, you get 50,000, and you all get $50,000 of the taxpayers' money. Nice time, folks. I'm gonna ring a bell. And tribute to the Queen's College teachers, as we say, continue to do what you're doing. Continue to keep it. I know, make a lot of enemies, teachers. But they gotta do what you gotta do. Money gotta make people. Money got to make nice time at Queen's College. In addition to that, you know, some people saying everything. Some people say everything. Well, they had prayer at Queen's College just today. Who show up? Schumann. Schumann show up. So they don't take left, you know, they're like a shadow. you can't shake something, you know. They're like a shadow. Like a shadow. Well, Schumann partook in some of the activities there. And them students, if you want to be a leader in this country, you got to know to have fun. And them students throw Schumann in a big tank. And soak it down. You fast now, Schumann? I start next year, you're going back. You fast now? But take wet. Take a look, folks. All right, let me get it. I watching the guys are watching me. Take a look, take a listen.
Strong man coming up.
Yep. Now is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, leader of the Liberty and Justice Party, Judas. That rhymes with Judas. Nice time, Queen's College. Nice time. Respect and manners to the folks there. Moving on to the fight card. Why are we talking about money? While we're on money, people, the trenching holding up. The trenching taking rackings. You see the Granger? The green note, that $5,000, the Granger. That note, you can put it through wherever you put it through. People respect the note. That note could come tear. That note could come crumple up. People still taking it. That note, sturdy, right? But this trenchy, the $2,000 bill, this called the trenchy. This called the trenchy. Short for trench capo. Because it got a pan and it got a lily and some people say it's trenchy. Right? And then it gets red too. They say the trench capo mixed with a jagabat. It's a trenchy. But the people say since little sun touch it. Since little sun hit the trenchy. Look what happening. The thing swizzling up. The trenchy swizzling up, folks. So y'all try with that. Soon as the sun touch it, people say it's because it's plastic. That being said, folks, I was in the bank the other day and a woman asked me, the teller, she said, you want to try a couple? I said, don't come around me funny with that. Don't come around me funny. Give me the thousands or give me my Grangers. Make up your mind, but don't come around me funny. When the trenchy that's swizzling up, folks, don't come around me funny. So yeah, watch the notes. Moving on in the fight card, folks. It's not a real place. And if the money just come out, sir, and the money just swivel up, squingy up. If the money just squinching up like that, Guyana is not a real place, folks. Yep. And a lot of things point to that. There's a prayer field, a place called B.B. Eccles. The prayer field was created for the community. Of course, the name tells you alone what you must go and do. This prayer field, you go and pray. The community wondering why a big lock on the door all the time. Why a big lock on the gate all the time in this prayer field in B.B. Eccles? So we calling on the NDC there. The resident want to know why the prayer field always lock up. They went through great pains to get this prayer field in a certain condition under the last administration. And now the prayer field just lock up. It's like never see, come to see. Right? Mr. NDC, tear this wall down. That sounds like Ronald Reagan now and Gorbachev. And it was, what year was that? 1989, the Berlin Wall. Mr. Gorbachev, tear this wall down. Tear this padlock open, folks. And let the people into the play field. What you lock it up for? You know? What you lock it up for? Come on, folks. Come on, NDC. It's not a real place. Yeah, it's not a real place. Moving on in fight, guys. Some people in here, you know. Some people in here, and we telling you, oh, be cautious on the road. Be responsible. Take your time. This is in Kitty. Pike and Alexander Street, Kitty. Right? This is how this fella end up. The man couldn't get parking ordinary. He take a different shot. Right? 1 meter up in the air. Some people different, you know. Right? Grab your trench, he driving this car here. get a bit trenchy. Right? Over here is parking lot, strange parking at Pike and Alexander Street in Kili. You gotta watch them, folks. Set of strange people. Strange people. When these people pass this in the car now, get up on the parapet. You're gonna be responsible on the road, folks. Arrive alive, slow down, be conscious, be cautious, be responsible as road users. Be responsible as road users. Well, Frank Sanichara, he vexed with some of the staff at Cherry Jackal International Airport. He vexed. The man said, I went to Barbados. I went to Grenada recently as a frequent traveler. As a boy with things. I fly out by the place. When I come home, oh God, I can't take it. I can't take it. The man said, no. You got 2-3 flights coming at 11 p.m. You got one person who checking, verifying, registering, looking at COVID cards. One person. He said nobody is smiling. Nobody is greeting you nice. Everybody vexed. Everybody vexed. Frank wrote a long letter on Facebook and he wailed into them. He said, I'm tired with this. Part of the letter he wrote, part of the post he wrote on Facebook, right? He said, I am challenging authorities to just review the cameras on March 2nd between 11 and 12 and see the struggles people have. He says it's embarrassing. He said people coming to this country for the first time going to be torn off, right? He wasn't having this. He said this lawlessness must stop. Let me just quote a part he was lamenting, right? He said I was in line. I was hearing grumbling. I saw facial expressions. I saw disappointment. I was frustrated. Right? He said one person for hundreds of passengers dealing with COVID and COVID-related issues, checking your COVID papers and that kind of stuff. He was livid on social media, folks, and be calling on the authorities to look into this matter. Look into this matter. Frank is very concerned about our image internationally. I know some politicians are too, right? But when they come home, they're fixing nothing. They come and they beat up on the critics, beat up on the naysayers, but they ain't fixing the problems. But when people criticizing them, they get vexed. Now they call and tell from bellies back home, abusing about the critics, right? But critics make the world a better place. No pun intended, right? Valid critics, folks, at Golden Grove Secondary School, right? Golden Grove Secondary School. Put the school to shame recently. The activities of some students put the school to shame recently. And we were made to understand that some big boys who's been lining about Golden Grove as well. They put the school to shame. They put the school to shame. Look part of what transpired at Golden Grove Secondary School recently. Pashway, a big fight, and one parent didn't have it. She said they're finishing here because her son was stabbed in part of this fracas, Pashway and fight at the Golden Grove Secondary School, folks. Take a look. Take a listen.
I agree to share the 50, right? But I got to come and get dry check and come and jack me.
So who will tell you that I got share 50?
Well, you tell them first, take on the gallant and man, get for you. Think how far, let's cut a cry.
So who can party out of 50 now? If you got to get 50, who got to get the other 50?
I got to get 50 and Molly got to get 50. 25. The name of car and it's still away. And now run in the store. No, he come up.
What am I rob people for? What am I take people money for? No, so she the first lady, she can, that's how she wants and do what she wants.
We don't tell him already. You say you know for this thing on, kill the minister, he could have lived. Right? He said, wait a minute, call me. I do that for me to know. I could not get some pastor.
Well, you got 100,000, right?
Why are you there? I got people who are fucking shit. Now right now, black people are just reading book for shit. Right? I used to run wax for 3 months and never book for you. I got never future, I got never show, I got never right to you.
Hey! Feel you fuck yourself! Feel you fuck yourself! Oh, what go for you! What go for you! What go for you, squad! Push out! 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 What's fucking in the bus, son? What are you doing, you know? Don't be so much jackass, man. You don't be so jackass, man.
Yep, folks, we don't yet have all the details to give you a full picture of what transpired here at the Golden Grove Secondary School with some of the students, and clearly some big boys who filtered into this area after school. But we're being reliably informed that one young man was intervening because his cousin was being bullied. And intervening, is always a peacekeeper. It's always a peacekeeper. The big boys turned on him, and he ended up being stabbed. And the last report we had in his head was that he was nursing that stab wound, or they were nursing that stab wound at hospital. But folks, we gotta pull every children for fitness, Lots of you watching us right now, children might be going to Golden Grove Secondary School. You're gonna pull them into fitness. Somebody commented in the comment section here, is big men and women going to school now? Is big men and women going to school? Right? Some of the students there seem more concerned about the entertainment than took seriously, how this thing could have gone sideways. The young man was stabbed. And at one point in the video, you can see blood on his shirt at the back. This is serious. And we call upon the Ministry of Education to launch an investigation into what transpired here. And to get to the root of it. Folks, get to the root of it and involve the police too. When we send our children to school, we're hoping that it's a safe environment. And then they come home alive and not beaten up and bullied and all of that. And we need less politicking and some serious interventions together. Really and truly. And we've said this here in our program repeatedly. We got to fight for our children, not physically, right? But we got to go after them earnestly. Folks, I always say, or I tend to say, if we come up a certain way, and we don't improve our generation, we wicked, stinking, dirty. If you come a certain way and your children got to come the exact same way, to punish like you, to suffer like you, to struggle like you, something wrong with that. And you got to fight for a better future for our children. Right? Whether you're born poor, you're born rich, you're born in between, right? You got to fight for your children. There have been poor people who give the children a sound education, who struggle and give the children the best, folks. And sometimes you got to make some strong decisions where they're concerned and take stern actions against them. Or the people who stabbing with children right now in the school street, the police are shooting them down just now in the same street. So we got some tough decisions to make, but we can't give up on our children. We can't. 17, 18, 19, they start living yet? They haven't started living as yet, folks. So over this weekend, some of you, we got to make some tough discussion with our children. Some of you are going to tell your sons and daughters, I don't want you being part of this nonsense. You see something like that happening, find your tail home. Instead of running from the problem, a whole set of people running towards the problem. We got to get a grip on ourselves. We got to get a grip on ourselves, folks. That's our program for this evening. Thanks for being here with us all week. We have to have some stern discussions with our children, folks. Don't give up on them as yet. Fight for the future of this country. Let's fight for our children. Fight for them. Don't give up on them just yet. Don't. right? Those who involve in this activity, they have to get consequences. They have to have consequences for their actions. But we can't give up on them. Don't let's give up on them, folks. That's our program this evening. Good to see each and every one of you here with us, folks. We couldn't ask for better audience than you, folks. Before you go and show you share the live stream, ensure you smash that emoji button, folks. We back tomorrow with our podcast as well. We back on Sunday with our podcast, but we're going to be back on Monday with FYI and within the ring. All through the week, Monday to Friday. Weekends, we do the podcast only, guys. But we're going to be here nonetheless. Day after day, we're here with you guys. Thanks for joining us. Cassandra Keller, Daniel Passad. Good to see you. Always Margaret Jones and Ariel Ashby. Good to see you guys. Holder Little Thomas, Devon Austin. Good to see you. Andrew Cuthbert, Erica Hooper, Charlotte Benjamin. Guys, give us a share before you go. Smash that emoji button as well. And we invite you guys to come on board and partner with us. We tell you guys we cannot do these programs without you. Suzanne watching at me in the background, and I have Dave watching at me too. They're working the late shift with me this evening. They say we can do it, folks, and we want to keep these guys on staff. We want to keep the lights out. We want to keep the internet going, guys. Good to have each and every one of you with us throughout the week. Smash that emoji button before you go. And also share the live stream, guys. Good to have you here. We got several platforms available by which you guys can contribute to our program. We got the Cash App. We got PayPal. We got Zelle. We got MMG. We got, what's the other ones? We got MoneyGram. We got Western Union as well, folks. You want to know how you can contribute in any one of these platforms? WhatsApp us 627-6963, and we're going to tell you how. Thanks for spending this week with us, folks. It has been our privilege. The guys are ready to go, and I guess I got to go too. Sandra Davis, good to see you. Florette, good to see you. Utendi Grant, Richard Fordyce, Joan Stephanie, Sharon Costello Edwards, Donna Leach, good to see you. Millicent Ross, good to see you. Chisung Henry, good to see you, folks. Thousands of you still watching us. The guys are turning off the lights. They're pulling out the plugs. They're about to put the end button on the program. I gotta go. Let me give a little shout out before I go. Chevron, Alicock, Gail Alicock, good to see you. I see Richard Fordyce as well. Florette Jones, good to see you. Chuma Bradford, good to see you as well. Folks, I gotta go. We are meeting out now. See you guys a little later on. Good to see each and every one of you. Later. Coming back, I'm coming back to see some of you. Yes, Vomit Wilson, good to see you. Jackie Baird, I gotta get people my shout out. Yeah, hold on. Richard Fordyce, good to see you. Joylyn Cook, good to see you. I come back. I like them boys. We come back. Donna Leach, good to see you. Joylyn Cook, yeah, hold on. I take the executive decision to give me people a shout out. Darren Jackman, good to see you. Joylyn Cook. Right, who want to leave can leave. Yeah, go. Guys, good to have Paul Yanger with us, Warnella Garrett with us, Court Roberts with us, Joyce Simon with us. Welcome in the ring, folks. Let's head to the fight card. Brother Duncan, good to see you. Smash that emoji button before you go. Share the live stream as well. Stephen Monroe, good to see you. Donna Leach, Joel Bristol, guys, thanks for spending this time with us. Shana Blair, good to see you as well. Henrietta Lancaster, Lily Joseph, Angela Jordan, good to see each and every one of you guys. Smash that emoji button. Share the live stream. That's our time, guys. Stay safe. Stay safe.